Alright. I know that this is going to blow your mind, but I have done some things different for this video starting onwards. I realized I have a nice phone, and I've been using it to video, but I've been using the selfie camera, which is not as good as the cameras on the back. But the issue with that is the reason why I was using the selfie camera is so that I could see myself while I was talking to you, which was helpful to me. So now, because I'm going to try this thing where I'm filming on the better cameras, I can't see me, so I don't know how much I'm in. I don't know how much I'm in, scene or view. And also, I can't do that really nice stop and start that I did because I have to kind of like get around the whole side of the table. But hopefully it looks nicer, and if it looks nicer, I'll be happy about it. The only other downside is that I'm probably going to snip on the beginning and end when I'm walking around the other side of the table. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of editing, and I don't know if I'm excited about that. Anyways, I need to do my timestamp thing. What am I going to do for my timestamps? Well, I liked saying timestamp last time. I also liked drinking tequila, but I'm out of that tequila now. And I have a tea mug over here. Ugh. But it's mostly empty. But I think I'm going to do it anyways. I think I'm going to drink from a mostly empty cup for my timestamps. So, let's get started. It's like the last of the tea, so there's not really any left, but I'm going to keep doing it. Timestamp. So, what is it? Today's video is on Dune Imperium. And this is the absurdly big box. This game is designed by Paul Dennen, and the art is by a Microsoft Paint rendition of the movie characters and geometric shapes on the board. That's about as much about the art that I think is probably valid. This is the gigantic version of the game, though. I don't even know, does it show it to you on the back? It does show it to you on the back. This is the upgrade pack that has recently come in since the last time that I ordered, or I played the game. It's come in since then. So I've kind of like put all the fancy stuff in here. My only problem with it is that, I've already pre-ordered the expansion for this. I still feel like even with the expansion, there's a little bit of a cavernous amount of space, and also space that doesn't even really fully make sense. It just doesn't really fully make sense for the components. That's kind of part of the weird bit. Things I don't know where to put things in certain sections, but I love this game so much. The synopsis of this, if you're curious about it, is this is a worker placement deck building combination that came out roughly pretty around the same time as Lost Ruins of Arnak, and there's a lot of advocates for either side. This is firmly what I love, with the caveat that I've never played Lost Ruins of Arnak, so I don't have any context to compare them. Just from what I've looked at Lost Ruins of Arnak, it seems like I would instinctually still prefer this one. But, yeah, why I have it. Timestamp. I got a little bit of liquid in that one, but it's by the end of it, it's just going to be bone dry. So why I have it. I have this game specifically because I love games like Twilight Imperium, and I actually did a video with Jesse on his Play This Not That series where I compared and contrasted Dune Imperium and Twilight Imperium. And some people saw my points, some people didn't, but I have this specifically because I like playing and contesting small amount of victory points. I don't love as much games where you could have anywhere between 100 to 300 points. To me, that makes the points that you get each individual turn like when you get 4 points or you get 15 points or 30 points in one go, like the visceral level of enjoyment that you get from that seems a little bit like diluted versus a game like this where, you know, it's 10 points to win. Someone might get 11, 12, or 13 if they're really ending strong. I love that because every point you get really, really hits strong. So, man, I just enjoy this a lot. I think the deck building is enough to satisfy you every time you play while having enough variety to make every other play different. So I think there's a lot of variety in the deck building, and you don't do it so exhaustively that you go through all the cards every single game. I really enjoy the worker placement, being able to, finesse your way to the locations you want without anybody able to stop you, or where somebody does go on a place where you want to go and then you have to readjust your strategy. I really enjoy that. I think it's a super strong experience, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, you can even play it at 2-player. There's a third AI faction like House Hagal, I think, and they take up spots on the board, so it kind of increases that tension even with just 2 players. But 3 and 4 players is a lot of fun for this. I think 3 might be a sweet spot for me, but 4 was still a blast. Any excuse to play this game, I will play this. So I have this because I love worker placement games a lot. I really enjoy the Dune universe. I've been reading the graphic novel. I went to go see the movie. My experience with it is relatively new in terms of access to the universe of Dune, but I enjoy what there is here, and I think that this is going to be kind of like a mainstay worker placement competitive strategy game for me in my collection. When did I get it? Timestamp. I got this not too long after it came out. I had some game store credit, I think, and I think I got it at the end of 2020. I think I got it with some not extra money. I think I used in-store game credit that I had kind of got over the course of the year, and I grabbed this, and I grabbed several other games. I got Honey Buzz at that time. I got this. I got a couple other ones, and I added several games to my collection, but this one I was really pumped about, and it met my expectations, which was really satisfying. So I think I got this at the end of 2020 or beginning of 2021, based off of when I remember. I think it was kind of like the end of the year sale or end of the year purchasing time at my local game store that I go to here in Little Rock. So that's when I got it. Will it leave? It's really just like absolute milliliters of liquid in there. Just not a lot at all. Will it leave? I don't foresee this leaving any time remotely soon. Honestly, the thing that might bug me the most is now the upgraded size of the box. I like the miniatures. I like the deluxe upgrade that it gave. I like the fact that it gave card sleeves with the artwork on the back. I enjoyed that. But it's a little absurdly big. I really think they could have done it better. I mean, I have plenty of games that have organizers from Game Trays or other companies that work really hard to create an effective solution, and I just don't think this was as well thought through as I would have wanted it to be. But I love the game so much that I'm willing to forego my frustration at that. I mean, just tonight I organized my Forbidden Stars game that I've done a video on already, and have all the pieces in a nice little Feldherr foam tray set, and it was just fantastic. So having solutions like that satisfy me, and having solutions that don't seem to use space effectively, that kind of bothers me. But I like this game a lot, so it's not really going to probably affect what I do with it. I hope that the video quality didn't mess up too much, because I think the light that I have on here, it ran out of juice, I guess. So it just kind of cut out, like 5 minutes ago. So I hope that the quality of light isn't actually that bad. Otherwise, this will be a bust and I'll have to do it all over again. But would you like it? Timestamp. Yeah, I think there are a lot of people who could enjoy this game. I think the fact that it has, accessible play at low player counts thanks to the AI system that they've got in here with that automated house, and I think the fact that it plays with two different very popular mechanics. You have a lot of people that love deck building. You have a lot of people that love worker placement. And the combination of those two, the intersection of where they hit in this particular game, is so interesting. It's so tantalizing for me every time. I kind of want to see, this last time that we played, I went very combat heavy. And that was something I hadn't done in previous games. I guess I haven't really talked about the structure of this, which I maybe would have done during the synopsis. But essentially, on your turn, you have at the beginning of the game 2 agents. You can unlock a third, and you send those agents around on the board, and that's the worker placement part. But the worker placement is tied to the card that you play. So you have that deck building system that is, familiar if you played Clank or other games where you draw 5 cards, but those cards that you draw, as you start to upgrade them, you can draw more cards. You can go to locations that affect, what's in your hand. But the locations that you're able to send your agents to are tied to the cards that you play. And then the cards that you play are kind of out of it. And the rest of the cards in your hand that you didn't use to send your agents around, those are used as money and combat enhancers at the end of the round. During like the reveal turn that you have, you get to reveal them and use the influence that you have there to purchase new cards. And then if you're involved in a combat, you can enhance or increase your combat score with a modifier to make yourself more dangerous or more of a threat in the combat. And then once everybody has gone through their turn phase and through their reveal phase, you have a combat which has its own separate rewards every round. And then whoever has the highest point value in there, they win and they get certain rewards. But there's tiered rewards. So, if only one person is in the combat, you can commit a small amount and gain a secondary tier reward or a tertiary tier reward, if there's multiple people in there. So the combination of the worker placement that is tied specifically to the cards you play, that is then informed by the cards that you didn't play, that then plays into the combat, all of that feels very tense and juicy, and I love that. And it's played for a small amount of points, so every game you get feels like a big win. So maybe going back to the synopsis has made it more apparent of whether you would like it or not, talking about that in a little bit more depth. But I think it's a very strong game. I think, there are some people that are going to prefer maybe more of the point salad, Euro, kind of relaxed player adventure in Lost Ruins of Arnak, which is all descriptions that I have from my limited understanding of the game. I think that it's definitely something that people may not enjoy if they're looking for not heavy negative player interaction through like combat and not getting blocked of going to places like worker placement. So if there are elements that I've said that are typically ones that you avoid in the game, just the combination of them in this might make it not a hit for you. And then I actually didn't get anything that time, so it is pretty much fully dry. But timestamp, rating. For me, this is easily an 8.5 out of 10. Could probably be a 9 out of 10 for me. It's just that kind of game that I enjoy. It's I started out the hobby, and one of my main games was Lords of Waterdeep back in 2014 or so, maybe 2015. I can't remember when I got Lords of Waterdeep, but it was the first or second year. And I have played that game so many times. I love worker placement. It's one of my favorite genres of game. And this hits all the high notes for me. It gets that objective-based play that I get from Forbidden Stars or Twilight Imperium, but it does it in a much shorter time span. And then I get the worker placement. But the worker placement is so much more satisfying whenever you're able to accurately chain together those card locations to where you can get where you want to go and possibly mess up with other players by getting to a crucial spot first, or by just having the good fortune of having those locations in your hand, because not all cards have the same locations attached to them. So, and then on the flip side of that, if you're not able to chain together exactly what you want to, you have to invert your strategy. You have to, adapt and figure out, okay, I can't go to those locations right now because I don't have the cards that give me the means to do so. What can I do next? How can I, be flexible and still get a good turn in? So, man, this is probably a 9 out of 10 for me. I'm interested to see what the expansion does. And it's possible over time that maybe it will go down to like an 8.5, or maybe it'll go up if the expansion really, even elevates what I already love. But it's a solid game for me. Okay, and then thumbnail. I've already done like the Catholic saint thing. Dune Imperium. What am I gonna do for Dune Imperium? Maybe I'll just do like a piece, because this is the deluxe upgrade pack, and not everybody has it. So maybe I'll just do a delightful little show of the components, and that can be the thumbnail. So this is the first player marker. So oh wait, I don't know. I hope I haven't been looking at that the whole time, but I need to redo that thumbnail and actually look at the camera. So, one sec. I think that's good. Hopefully I've been looking at the camera. I think I've been looking at the camera for most of the time, but now I'm doubting myself, specifically because this is the first time that I've looked there. So, now I'm self-conscious. Now I'm self-conscious about it. But I can't do that cool thing where I just like sign off and push the button anymore, because the button's on the other side, because I'm using this camera instead of the other camera. But I think at the end of the day, I think the video quality is going to be better. Though I'm going to have some sound editing on it, because I think it's picking up that, fan for my kids sleeping a lot more intensely than maybe it was previously. But yeah, so Dune Imperium, super good game. I love it. I'm going to keep it for a long time, and let's do another video.